Okay, I think we're going. So this is the MapRight map. This is the 10-acre tract on the Niagara River. This is tract 8 at Riverside at the Niagara. Um, Very small little area with a few private tracks. Direct frontage here on the entire west side, about 375 feet of direct frontage on the Niagara River. This is an awesome river, and this is basically the top shelf, the premier area in the river. There's a 12-mile stretch where you can actually catch rainbow trout and brown trout downriver from Bennett Springs State Park, and this property is right in that stretch. So super nice. Let's start here on the east side. So this is Marigold Drive. Property has direct frontage on Marigold. Um, these pink dotted lines that you see, those are road easements. So actually, um, you would pull in here where the dotted line starts and hang a left. And now you're directly on the property. You could certainly put in your own gate and driveway if you wanted to and enter that way. But currently, it's just the easiest is just to pop in at the gate and hang a left, and there you are right on the property. Um, this is I guess what I call the upper meadow, or what we've been calling the upper meadow or field. It's basically all flat. As you go west, you get into this tree line, and then it starts to slope down. It gets steep over here, and then you are in the lower meadow, and this is basically completely flat and stays so until you get to the river frontage. Um, and you've got a tree line here at the river as well. So you can build more or less. You can build anywhere, subject to the setbacks from the easement roads and from Marigold. But if you were to build here in the lower meadow, you would want to elevate your structure because that is within the 100-year floodplain. As soon as you get to this tree line, um, basically this tree line and everything to the east is going to be completely high and dry out of the floodplain. So if you wanted to build up here in the upper meadow, that would be a simpler choice because you wouldn't have to elevate your structure. You could do a standard, a slab or a basement or a stem wall or whatnot up here. So now the nice thing is, obviously you can get to the property in just about any type of vehicle. You could pull onto this open meadow part. Now, generally, if you wanted to get to the west part or the river, you would have to punch in some kind of trail or road going down this hillside. But these tracks actually have access. I'm trying to zoom out a little. Access on this existing road that's been here for decades, and it's basically just a little gravel um, road that goes down the hill and then cuts back and goes directly to and across the property, and then it dead ends just a little past it. It just serves these few tracks here. That's where it ends. So with that in effect, you can actually easily pull down here with a truck and trailer. We did just the other day, potentially a car, but anytime you're on a gravel road or an easement road, a truck or an SUV is a better choice. Um, Now that we've zoomed out, you can see this shaded area. I'll zoom out one more time. I don't even really know where to begin on this property. There's so much going on. But this is the Barclay Conservation Area, and this is just on the other side of the river and up a couple hundred yards. But this gives you a large amount of additional public land. Might be open for hunting. I'm not sure about that. Generally, the conservation areas are, but you could check into that. Um, Although we've seen a lot of big deer, they come across the river and come across this field, so you'll see big deer on the property. But the Barclay Conservation Area is a cool place where um, you can put in your canoe or your kayak or whatever. There's a great access point. It's free, it's open to the public. You can put in your canoe right there, and you can take just a fun little 20 or 30-minute float right down to your own property and take out on your own property. So that's pretty cool. Let's zoom in while we're here and play around a little bit. Okay, let's see how close we can get. So this is a Google base map. Sometimes they're not recent. This one does appear to be pretty recent. This property had some logging done within probably about the last year. It certainly was not clear cut. They took out only the big commercial size oak trees. It did have quite a few, but there are hundreds of large and medium trees left. The loggers really didn't do any cleanup. you know, as far as loggers go, they did a really good job. Um, but they didn't do any special cleanup, so you'll have some tops lying around and that kind of stuff. Um, Sometimes we clean things up. We've had a lot of projects right now, so we haven't really done any cleanup on this. But to reflect that, we did do a big price reduction off of what the price would have been had we cleaned up the tops and whatnot. But this, for instance, this is kind of a pile um, of logs and limbs. Um, and then as you go toward the west, I mean, once you get into this area, and you'll see it in the ground video too. I believe in the ground video, we start over here and we take the four-wheeler across the upper field. We come down into here. We check out the view. Let's check out the topo map while we're here. I love these topo maps because they really show how a property is situated. So this is basically flat, maybe a slight rise up. And this actually, I didn't realize it till just now, but this property contains the highest point around. That's what that X is. So this has got a slight rise to it. It's technically the highest, I guess, right where that X is. And then this, I would still call this flat. This shows that it probably technically slopes a little bit, but it more or less stays flat until you get to about this area where these closer lines are. And that's where it starts to get steeper, but that's also where you have that awesome view out to the west. You probably have to remove a few of the smaller trees to really enjoy that view, but I mean, you can see the river from up here. So if you were someone who really enjoys a view like I do, this might be a great spot to build. Let's go back to the Google map here. So I know that looking at this, it looks somewhat long and thin, and it is long, but it's actually not thin. Let's do the ruler feature here, and let's do it at one of the wider parts of the meadow. Measure that across. So that's over 160 feet across, which is as wide or wider than a normal building lot is. So I mean, you've got plenty of room to build whatever you want to build on this property. I don't know what I just did. Hope I don't erase that. There we go. Okay, there we go. I mean, you can build. The only setbacks are we've got a setback for power and access off the road here, and then off this portion of the road, and then there will be a setback off of Marigold Drive. So likely this little area here would not be a prime building site, but as soon as you get just a little bit back here, so this is all buildable, all buildable, all buildable. Get down to here and you've got the setback off the dotted line road, and this is where it is buildable, but you would certainly want to elevate because that is within the 100-year flood zone. And if you have a mortgage on your structure, your bank will say, we need flood insurance. And they might want that even if you do elevate. I don't know. But generally, if you have an engineer design the elevated structure and get it out of the floodplain, you can be okay with that. But anyway, so much to see on this property. I mean, geez, we love these. Such rare tracks, my goodness. Let's zoom out a little bit here, and we'll show you kind of the general area. Okay, so down at the bottom, this is Bennett Springs State Park. They also have that trout hatchery where they raise the trout and then they release them into the river here. And so this is the Niagara, and this section that we're tracing here, this is the white ribbon section. So this is the prime trout fishing area. Super rare, super cool. Zoom out one more time. So closest major city is Lebanon, Missouri. That's right over here in the bottom right corner. This is I-44. You can take that south to Springfield, which from Lebanon is about 45 minutes, somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour. And if you take 44 to the north, you eventually run into St. Louis, which is probably 2 hours from Lebanon, I'm guessing. But to get to the property from Lebanon, you just take Highway 64 straight west to Bennett Springs. You go north on Marigold, right about here. Just before you cross the river, you go north, and you take Marigold all the way up. And that's what directly borders the property. So feel free to check it out if it's still available. First, you'll want to go to our website at InstantAcres.com. We advertise on a lot of websites, and we leave the videos on YouTube at the buyer's request, even for sold properties. But if you go to InstantAcres.com, that is updated continuously and immediately. So if it says it's available on our website, then it is available. So check us out at InstantAcres.com. Once again, I love just saying that website 20 times. But check us out there. If you have any questions, you can email us, you can call us. We'd love to talk to you about this property or any other property we have. River properties, extremely rare in the Ozarks. We were very excited to get these, and when these are gone, they're gone. So if you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, once again, InstantAcres.com.